Hello everyone, it's me here, Lila or Lisa Jane, however you know me. I am being guided to share another video today, and generally when I'm guided to share so often and frequently, I know there are a lot of people struggling, or I know there are people out there somewhere that need to hear this message. If this is the first time you're coming across my channel, please have a look at all my videos. They hold the energetic integrity of the message and the energy I was bringing through at the time, so they can be completely relevant even if they're from a couple of years ago. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and share with friends. What is this message today? Well, this message today comes from a river. I spend a lot of time in nature. I live underneath the slopes of Table Mountain. I'm blessed to have my home and my practice here in Cape Town, and it is more often than not that when I'm out there in nature that I'll get some message. This particular message I need to share with you today. So I will step into that. But before, I just wanted to mention that I am a healer, I'm a spiritual guide, I'm a galactic shaman in the sense that I connect the earth and the spirit worlds, and I travel somewhere in between, bringing information and guidance and healing. I do work one-on-one, so if you feel called to have a session with me, please contact me. All my details below. Have a look at my website. I also have a most beautiful growing community of spiritually like-minded people in which I hold a safe space that is outside of the social media presence for healing, for meditations, for Q&As. So if you want to follow a path and deepen your spiritual development and connecting with your soul, then please consider joining. It is held on Patreon, and that link is also below. So let me step into the topic. Firstly, let me say I send love to you all. It is a very difficult time for many people. Stay safe, stay calm, stay centered, and always know that your soul has sovereign over your field, that your soul holds sovereign around your mind, your body, your physical. Seek to the soul and the spiritual aspect of yourself for strength. Well, I don't know whether all of you will know, but a couple of months back I had to evacuate my home since we had raging fires on Table Mountain. It was a bit frightening at the time because I couldn't find my little kitty, and I certainly wasn't going to evacuate my home without him. But anyway, we got him, our home was safe, and we came back in. Before the fire happened, I had a very deep energetic sense that there was a subsidence, there was a sinking, there was a cleansing of negative energy in and around the University of Cape Town and in that energetic area spreading across the slopes of Table Mountain. I wasn't then surprised necessarily of the fire, even though I was personally affected. However, it burnt deeply and left not much vegetation on some of the slopes. I went walking today in the beautiful mountains after we have received lots of rain, and so the rain was coming down, the rivers were swelling their banks, and waterfalls were just coming right the way down the mountain in all areas. So it was refreshing, it was invigorating, it was beautiful, and at one of these particular rivers I stopped and I suddenly received a message. And so I waited there for a while, just tuning in and see what else the river and the mountain had to share with me. The first thing is that there is always movement. Now, as humans, we become stuck in our ways, stuck in our habit, and if we are on a path where we'd like to develop further, we can become impatient, waiting for the signals, looking at our external circumstances and saying, this hasn't changed. I'm doing all this work, why hasn't it changed? Everything shifts and moves on the energetic level. It takes a while for that to be represented in the physical plane. So what the river, our river, this river, the mountains river, was saying this morning is that even though you don't necessarily see it, even though it may not be represented in the material realm, there is always movement. If your intention is to grow and to change and you are actively involved in your healing, trust that the energy is moving, the energy is shifting. The soul cannot fully descend in this physical body immediately. Our body will probably disappear in a puff of smoke. It cannot handle that high vibration. So it's a step-by-step process, a bit like that Tetris game, you know, when you fill the things and it sinks to another level. That's kind of what happens with the soul as it descends. And we all know the word ascension, I'm sure, spiritual ascension. Well, for me, it is the descension, the stepping in of your soul into the physical realm that is part of the ascension process. Those that are willing, those that are awake, those that are consciously on a spiritual journey, even if that journey is just a journey of self-awareness, are receiving their soul. So the river, I wanted to share with you that there is always movement. Know that and don't become despondent. I'm going to look at my notes here. The second thing was, because of the fire we had, the waters, the river, the rain felt like a very strong clearing, cleansing. And what I was offered was, after every major transformation, after every major shift of negativity and a big purge, which you may experience as physical detoxing, emotional detoxing, revisiting old patterns, but after every burnout, after every fiery transformation, the water always comes. It flows, it clears out, it gets you ready for the next level. And it is my sense that as much as there are other fiery transformations happening in the planet, right? We look at Mount Shasta and what's happening there. I was interested to know that, since I'd experienced this on my own Table Mountain, is that those fiery transformations are necessary to bring in pure, clean energy. So as the river told me, she washes out all of that debris to make way for new growth. So if you're in that period of transition where you might have gone through transformation, just relax, take it easy. Let the healing come in, let it wash all that out. And if you need assistance to wash that out, clear that energy, please contact me or another energetic or energy healer, spiritual healer, to work with the energetic field that needs the cleaning out. Often we need a helping hand there, right? So if you have a sore tooth, you tend to go to the dentist. Well, if your energy is feeling a bit murky and cloudy, come and see me or come and see a person like me. We are stepping into an age where our energetic health is going to be more important than anything else, because energy first, matter second. So that was the second message of the river. And the third one, and feels to me like the quite important one, is in order to get to these areas on the mountain, we had to climb fairly steep parts of the hill, right? Because you're starting down in the kind of valley in the city, and then you've got to climb up the slopes. So we had marched up there, and it was raining and wet. It was beautiful and it's fresh. But when I stood at the river again, she said to me, sometimes those paths up can feel like hard work. It can feel like there's just one step after another. But then what happens is you get to a point, a leveling, a hill, a top of a climb, where you stop, you take a breather, and again let that healing energy wash over you. And in doing so, just flow with the changes. So it's this progressional step of having to maybe climb up, try hard, get rid of some mental habits, move people and circumstances out of your life. That requires action. It requires hard work on our behalf. It requires commitment and discipline. But once we have got to that space, then there's a clearing, there's a cleanse, there's a breather. So this incessant healing that you might feel is not always happening. You are always given a breather. Spirit always comes in and says, right, here you are. Whether you're a person in service and your clients kind of go quiet for a while, that's always a clear sign that you're in a process of assimilation. You're in a process of just clearing out and getting you ready for the next step. So with all of those steps, there is always movement. There's always a cleansing after a fiery transformation. And thirdly, there is always a breathing space, a place where you're asked to step in the flow, a place where you just ask or allow things to happen after you've done some major effort. So nature really is speaking to us loud and clear. And as humans, we really need to step into a space where we connect more with her, where we give ourselves time to listen to what she's saying. And certainly for me, the energy that's being held by Table Mountain at the present moment in Cape Town, we're called the Mother City, is a very womb-like nurturing energy where we're being asked to step in and be cradled by her, be held by her. But at the same time, the womb can sometimes feel dark, it can feel isolating, it can feel like you're all alone. You're not. Mother Nature is going through her own transformation process, but she is lifting her vibration, and at the same time she is holding us. Much like a mother who has children might be dealing with her own issues, but she always holds her children. She always nurtures her children and allows them to feel held and feel safe. So know that you are held in the womb of Mother Earth, that from Table Mountain and my home here, I send you healing and I send you blessings. I know it is tough, but I also know you're stronger. I know you have an indomitable spirit, a most powerful soul, that if you call on it, it will be there and it will help you through these changes. Stay in love, stay out of fear, stay centered as far as possible, and when you feel yourself rattle or pulled, ask yourself, is this taking my power away? Is getting angry over something taking my power away? When instead what I'm being asked to do is step into my sovereignty, step into my king or queendom and hold my space like the shining light warrior I am. So with that, I send you love and we'll chat again soon. Bye.